Hello, guys. You are now listening to the sixth episode of our brand new season called Becoming That Girl. So, in last week's episode titled, Are You Really Ready? We spoke about really seeing if we are ready for these relationships that we want. We talked about learning how to never chase a man and the importance of attracting and not chasing. We talked about how to tap more into our feminine side and our feminine energy. And we overall just talked about how to better prepare for our Prince Charming, y'all. So, in this episode, we're really going to be focusing on whether or not there's any hope out there for our Prince Charming. We're going to tap into some turn ons and turn offs that men have as it relates to women and whether or not they're really realistic or not. We're then going to discuss what our types are, and then we're going to end off whether or not our types are going to be cheaters by diving into this whole idea of all high value men cheat. So I really like this episode. I feel like this is going to be exciting, funny. I feel like this episode would have been a good episode to bring some guys on, but to all of our fellas out there, we are going to be inviting y'all on our show. Hopefully, we have some male guests to come and talk about these topics and come intervene these topics so that y'all can really get some stuff off y'all's chest. But for now, we just gonna chop it up. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and hop into our first discussion with this whole turn on and turn offs that guys have as it relates to us. So I had a conversation with a few of my guy friends just to get more insight, and I literally just typed in my notes exactly what they said, y'all. It was about two or three of them, and they all agreed on each turn on and each turn off. So I'm gonna list them off, and we're gonna discuss whether or not these are legit or whether or not y'all are doing too much. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into turnoffs. We're gonna start off with the turnoffs. So the first turn off that they said females do that they just hate is overly providing. They said they don't like a female who is so quick to be like, oh, I got it, I'm gonna pay for it, or oh, don't worry about it, it's on me. Like, and I told them to think about like the first date. What would be a turn off on you on the first date? And they said a woman who overly provides. And the argument that they had is they feel that it's a man's natural state to just want to provide. Now they're saying there's nothing wrong with receiving gifts. They would love to receive gifts, and they love a woman who is able to step in when need be. But like first date off bat, if you reaching in your bag or you're so quick to just, oh, here you go, they don't like that. So what would y'all say about that first turn off?
I mean, I agree. I've never been the type to like if it's a first date, I want to feel like the guy is taken care of. So I'm not going to reach for my wallet or reach for whatever I got going on to, pay for anything. Maybe that's old school, maybe that's just me. But if you ask me on a date, I expect you to take care of everything. So I can see where they're coming from, where they're like, well, dang, like, stop trying to do too much. Like, I got it. I asked you to go out. Like, just stop it. So I can see. I've never thought about that, though, because some girls probably are like, well, let him know that I can do it on my own. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and I
That's
can
why
see how guys don't
I'm
like
glad they
that.
brought that up, honestly.
I think it's funny because I feel like some females, it's a trick. We used to be like, oh, I got it just to see if he gonna pay because sometimes these dudes, they just think you gonna pay. So I'm trying to know before I even sit down on this meal. I got it. No, I got $1. He said he got it. Oh, one time. That's it for me. Okay, I'm good. You paying the bill. Great. I'm just trying to be nice, because some dudes, you never know. Some of them, they gonna make you pay. Some of them hit you at the end of the bill, so you not gonna send it to me. You not gonna sell me. No. What? See, before I waste all my time, let me do the little. It's okay. It's on me. When my voice get a little high, I'm just doing little play, just to see if he gonna pay. But overly
I see.
providing, you just
A
gotta be
lot
like,
of
hey,
ladies
he got it.
a lot of ladies do that though. Like they try to like see whether he's gonna pay or not. But I think we should leave that tactic in 2021, ladies. Like, I'm sorry, but on the journey of becoming that girl, like, we cannot be going on dates with dudes on the first date and they like literally cannot pay for the meal. That's just not cool. So I feel like we should just sit there and see what he gonna do. And if he blurts out of his mouth, "Hey, so you wanna split it in half?" Just know that that would be your last date with this man. But do not, "Oh, I got it, I got it." That's the trick, because you may be running into a kind of man that thinks this is a turn off. You know what I'm saying? Because then he like, "She got it. Like, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, remain in your feminine energy, sit back, relax, and get taken care of. So a new tactic, ladies. Anytime we go on a date, silence. Silence. Or act like you don't even see the bill come out. Act like your friend calling you like, "Oh, hold on, I got a phone call right now. Hold on real quick." When the bill come out, because I'm not paying. Hello? Excuse
And
me?
maybe I'm bad, but I will literally like I look at the bill. I'll be like, "Ooh, go ahead and put that card down," because I'm just like I
You look
know
at it?
I'm not. Yeah, I look at it.
I
One,
be
because I'm
playing.
nosy. I want to
I'm
know how much it
blind.
was. I want to know how much it was, so I'm just like, but I
They drop.
definitely
You be
no.
looking at the bill. I be playing with my hair, checking my email, looking over because I just feel like that's the awkward part of the date. Like,
It is awkward.
oh,
But the men
oh,
already know
Ned.
what's up. They know that 9 times out of 10 we want them to pay. So the second one, now that we're just talking about like dates and paying at the end of the date, they said that turn off from women is when a woman is rude to service workers. This was a new one. And I feel like oftentimes they're not, ladies, you know how we can get, if the food don't come out right, we be ready to raise hell in a restaurant. My food is cold. He asked for this and he didn't get that. And a lot of ladies, can do that on a first date, but these guys said, we don't like that. Relax, stay calm, and you know what I'm saying. Don't be rude to the service workers, because 9 times out of 10 it's not their fault, and so they feel like if you can be rude to a service worker, then it kind of just shows that you have no empathy, like just a lack of empathy, and we explained that in the last episode. Some feminine traits are making sure that you are very empathetic. So when I was talking to the guys, they was like, "Yeah, if she rude to service workers, like rude for no reason at all, like it's a huge turnoff, especially on a date." So have y'all ever caught yourself being rude to a service worker on a date? Be honest.
Uh, I feel like as a female, me personally, I feel like it's just how I'm raised. It's just you never know what that person's going through. So just being rude to a service worker, like they're serving you. So personally on a first date as a female, I carry myself in a high way. So I'm not about to just if I'm on a first date and then you're being disrespectful, he gonna think, "Oh, she crazy. Oh, she like that." Like I don't want to be around that. So I feel like that's a normal turn off for men. Like they don't want to see a female on the first date. She being rude to a service worker. Like if the man not complaining, just let it be, and it's the first date. Like you don't have to be overly aggressive. I feel as a woman.
Yeah, I mean, I think no, that's just like that's stank. Like I think the girls that go above and beyond, well, this is what my man asked for, so I'm gonna need you to fix this and that. That's just like that's stank. Like, girl, yes, you're his girl, and you want your man to have his food correctly, but he can also speak up for himself. Like, he has a mouth that he could be like, "Hey, excuse me, da 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 da." Like that just goes back to manners. I feel like anybody that is catering to you, you especially should be 100% more nice and go out of your way. That goes like back to tipping and stuff like that. Like, don't be rude. Like, they're just at the end of the day just trying to do their job. I hate seeing people that are rude to waiters and waitresses. It's just it's terrible.
Yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine personally. So like when they brought it up, I was like, facts. Like I can't stand being out with even just a group of girls and like people are just overly rude for no reason, because half the time the food has nothing to do with the service worker. Like I know that just from working at a restaurant and customers getting mad at me, and I'm like, "Ma'am, I didn't make the food. I just took your pay and bought it out." Like, you know what I'm saying? I have nothing to do with this. So I'll tell them what you said, but like don't be rude to me. So I feel like me being in a position as a service worker as well, working at a restaurant, customers can be very rude to you, but they're really just projecting it out on you because you're the waitress. But it's like we really have no control over a lot of stuff. So it was a turn off for me. So yes, ladies, there's a fine line between being assertive and making sure that your food comes out right and your man food comes out right, opposed to just being straight up rude to the service workers. It's not cute. You may think he's gonna see you in a better light because you can take charge and you're gonna stand up for him, but in reality, it's a turn off because why are you being rude to a service worker? Relax. Okay, so I like that one. I actually agree with that one that they said. The next couple ones that they said is bad attitudes, being obnoxious, which I feel kind of like plays a role into the whole being rude to service workers. Like if you're rude to a service worker, 9 times out of 10, you really just have a bad attitude. And they said just being overly obnoxious, you know what I'm saying? Overly obnoxious, overly loud, maybe not towards him, but men do pay attention to the way you talk to your friends, to the way you act and talk to your family members. Like, they really do pay attention to how you interact overall. So if you're just super obnoxious, super loud, and doing too much, these guys said that that's a turnoff. Overly complaining is another one that they said, which I feel we have spoke about in this season. Do not be a complainer. Don't be that negative Nancy that's always complaining. But they were saying in a sense where it's like, every time they talk to a female, there's something different that she's complaining about. There's a fine line between venting to your man and complaining overly, like, yeah. Like they literally was just like, it's annoying. Like, don't complain too much because it's just like, bro, like and men, they're more of the bro, do something about it. You know what I'm saying? That's literally how men think. They're very strategical, logical thinkers. So it's like 9 times out of 10 when we're venting, or when ladies are complaining, because I've complained before, we really just be wanting to get it off our chest. Like we already thought through what it is that we wanted to do to make it better. We already thought through the solution. We just want to get it off our chest. But men, they like, bro, like, what are you gonna do about it? So if you don't like her, or if this bothers you, what are you gonna do about it? So it's like, make sure, ladies, that you keep a balance. You keep a balance between the venting and the complaining. They don't like a lady or a girl who's always complaining too much. They also said being on your phone too much, which I feel like is a given, because ladies, we don't like a man that's on their phone too much, especially the first date. If you can't put your phone down, who's texting you? Like, who else has your attention? If you can't even focus on me during the date and you can't even like pay attention to me, that's a red flag. So vice versa, it's a red flag for us too. Like if we're constantly checking our phone or constantly scrolling on Instagram during the date, they feel like that's a red flag in their book. So I feel like that one is kind of a shared like red flag between the ladies and the men. And I feel like the phone thing kind of ties into another turnoff that they mentioned, which was being easily distracted and like can't stay focused, which I thought was a unique one, because I'm like, dang, I've never heard a guy say that before. But I feel like you picking up your phone can be a sign of not being able to stay focused or being easily distracted, because you're not able to focus on why you're on the date and who you're on the date with. But overall, they said a girl who's just easily distracted, kind of like an airhead, where you can be talking to her mid-sentence and then like they'd be like, oh my god, da, da, da. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've had conversations with people before where they'll be talking about one thing and then out of the blue, like something else catches their attention and you just be like, okay. I feel like I do that to my friends sometimes, but like when it comes to them, they're just like, bro, like stay focused. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that one? Like the whole easily distracted, can't stay focused on being a turnoff. Did you ever even think that was like a turnoff that men had?
No, I've never really heard of that. And it's so funny hearing these. Like, guys pay attention more than we really think that they do. I'm like, easily distracted. What the heck? What if you see something, you're like, oh shoot, wait. Or what if your mind, I know for a fact when I'm talking to somebody, if something comes to my mind, it could be talking about burgers and then instantly talks about like planes, like it can go in completely two different directions. So that's interesting. I feel like that's more personalized, because I feel like some guys would probably just be like, what? Like, I don't really care. But then there are some guys that, like the guys you talk to that thought of that. So that's interesting.
I feel like men are just picky. They just be picking on the little things on us. Like, Jesus, like, all right. Like, us women, we like to talk. We're natural social talkers. So if one thing comes in our mind, another thing, like let us release it. Like I don't feel like there should be a turn off. Not saying like he be telling you something important and you take it like, oh, I want to go to McDonald's and he's venting to you about your life, then okay, that's another discussion. But I feel like easy distracted, can't stay focused. I feel like you're just nitpicking. Okay, you're just nitpicking. Like, why are you watching?
Okay,
Now I don't
so
even like you.
okay, so the ladies, we didn't like this one. They didn't like this one, y'all. But yes, the guys that I spoke to, they said a girl who gets easily distracted, like you can't even stay on one topic in a conversation, or like you just can't stay focused. Your mind is just everywhere. They feel like that's just a pattern of someone who like can't stay focused on what they need to focus on in their actual life. So they take a sign of like being easily distracted or being not able to focus on one topic and you're all over the place in your conversation. They basically feel like you're all over the place in life. Like if in up in here if that's how you think, they feel like maybe literally like that's how you'll be. Like you're just kind of all over the place, and they just want a woman who I guess is like steady. So I don't know. That was definitely an interesting one to me too. That's why I wanted to like kind of ask y'all about it, because I'm just like, okay, that's a new one. There was a couple ones in here that were new, but like that was a new one for me too. And they also said another turnoff is bad communicating, which I feel like is a turnoff from the ladies too. So they're basically saying after the date, if y'all are texting and you take it too long to text back, or you just don't know how to communicate, and even in relationship terms, you can't communicate your emotions, like you're so quick to shut off and you don't ever want to talk about the problem, that's a huge turnoff. So in dating terms, turning a turn off for them is not being able to text back at a steady pace, which I feel like is a turn off for us too. Text me back, communicate with me, or call me, do some form of communication. And in a relationship, communication as far as when problems hit the fan, you can't even communicate what's wrong with you. You're like, it's fine, it's not a problem, and you kind of just want to keep brushing it off when there's obviously a problem. So they said that's a turn off. Like they don't like that. They rather talk about the issue, or when they're dating you, they want to talk to you, point blank, period. And I think we can all agree with that one as a whole. And calling him out of his name. So they're like, in terms of problems hitting the fan, not only do we want you to communicate good, but if you are mad at me and you start calling me out of my name, like the most disrespectful stuff ever, then that's a problem. They basically feel like same reason why we don't want to get called the B word is the same reason they don't want to get called a N word. You know what I'm saying? So they really don't like that either. And I can respect that, because they feel like sometimes ladies, we set these standards of don't call me out my name, don't call me this, don't call me that. But in an argument and stuff hits the fan, they feel like oftentimes they've experienced women who will just let it all out on them and they looking like, what's up with you? So I feel like that kind of goes back to being a bad communicator. It's a turnoff when a woman can't even effectively communicate enough to get her point across without cursing and doing all the extra stuff. They want a woman who can communicate effectively, and she may still be upset, but that don't mean she's gonna disrespect you. You know what I mean? And I think we can all agree with that one as well. Because don't call me out my name, but I won't call you out your name either. I don't believe in calling men out their name. Like, I don't like that. I'm not gonna call you a B word, so don't call me a B word. And we just gonna keep it like that. And the last one that they said, turnoffs, which was very interesting, and I feel like this can spark up a whole little conversation, is walking out the house in PJs. And you wanna know what's funny? I feel like this one was really funny, because I'm just like, what? And I feel like this is another one of those that are gonna differentiate. What'd you say, Key?
I'm weak. I can't believe walking out the house in PJs. I feel like that's just, first of all, you don't know what a girl got going on, okay? You don't even know what's going on. I personally, I feel like the way my parents raised me, my dad's the same way. Like, he will come to me like, do not walk out the house with pajamas. You are a female. Like, you, and I just be like, it is a form of clothing. What is so wrong? But like, personally, me, I'm not gonna walk out the house in PJs. Maybe throw a little sweatpants, sweatshirts over the PJs. You know, I don't want people looking at me, but I just think these men, they just nitpicking. Like, you know, you never know what a woman is going through. Some women wake up late. They got a hair appointment, you know, they running, or they got to pick up a package. Like, you never know. If you see a woman in her pajamas, she is late to something and she's in a rush to get something. So do not judge. Like, if the girl's constantly, every time you link her and she walking out the crib in pajamas, all right, girl, you know, you're a female. Like, you clearly you're beautiful. He's attracted to you. So, like, ain't nothing wrong showing your man, like, I could keep myself together. Like, ain't nothing wrong. You know, Beyonce talked about it. Cater to you. What she said, I'm gonna keep it right, keep it tight, all that. Like, nothing wrong. So I feel like walking out the house in PJs, it is a turn off. Like, if I saw a man coming out in PJs all the time, I would just think you dirty. That's the first thing I'm thinking.
Crying.
But you never know with a female. Never know. If you see a female, especially coming out in PJs, something went wrong that day for her to really come out in her pajamas.
Right. I agree. Honestly, I feel like there's a fine line. There's gonna be men who don't like the whole PJ thing, and there's gonna be men who really don't mind it. Because after I had a conversation with these guys, I spoke to a number of guys, and I went through the list, and this was one of the things that everybody had different responses on. Some people was just like, I mean, if that's my girl and she going in a store real quick, like, it's not really gonna bother me. But I think it's a form of just like constantly feeling okay with going out in your bonnet or your scarf or your PJs. Like, you don't even care about your appearance. Like, I feel like you could go out in PJs and still make it cute. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what the guys were saying. They just don't want a girl that's okay with walking out in public unpresentable all the time. That's a turnoff, especially if they was to see you out in the street like that. Like, 9 times out of 10, a guy's not gonna approach you if you got some PJs on, some house slippers, and a scarf or a bonnet on. Like, it's not giving in their opinion. Kiara was experiencing some issues with her mic, y'all, so we couldn't really hear what she had to say, but we're gonna work on those issues right now so Kiara can get her input in. All right, Key, so what you think about the last few turnoffs?
Guys, our recording service did not want me to be great and put my input in. But what I was saying that based off of the 2 people that I knew Kaylin was talking to back when I said this, I was like, I know who said that comment. But honestly, I mean, I agree with what you guys said. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to just hear this and hear everyone's comments on that. But that's all I can say. It's interesting because girls are going to have their thoughts on what they feel is right or how they're trying to be when it comes to them interacting with guys, and the guys think a whole nother way. So
Be yourself.
Honestly, like, nitpicking on little pajamas, really? Like, what if I got a hair appointment? I gotta throw my scarf on. Ain't nothing wrong driving with the scarf on. I'm about to get my hair done. Like, you want me to walk looking crazy? So I think that's just
Take it
judgmental.
take it with the grain of salt, ladies. Like, take into consideration what they said the turnoffs were, and do reevaluate yourself, especially if you feel, because there were some that we really did all agree on. We were just like, yeah, this is not it. But you know, the PJs and the little bitty stuff here and there, just keep it with a grain of salt. But I think overall, men are just trying to say they don't like a woman who just genuinely does not care about how she presents herself to the public. So if you're gonna be in PJs, make it cute. If you're gonna go out with a scarf and a bonnet, put a hoodie on over it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different things to make it to where you're still presentable, but you're still comfortable at the same time. So some turn-ons that they mentioned, in and off on a lighter note, is a forward thinker. They said a woman who clearly has goals, a woman who clearly knows what it is that she wants out of life. Even if she doesn't have a clear plan, she's a forward thinker. She doesn't really hesitate too much on the past. She doesn't complain too much about her circumstances. She's just a very forward thinker. And I kind of like that one because I was like, that was another different one. The guys I spoke to, y'all, they can be very specific. But I think these are overall good men that I feel like on the journey of becoming that girl, women would be interested in. So that's why I really wanted to speak to them specifically. But a forward thinker, good hygiene, of course, smelling as good as you look is really what they was talking about. Like, if you look that good, you need to smell that good too, okay? So smelling as good as you look. They want someone who has good hygiene, and we want the same from our men too. Confidence, which is what we speak about so much on this podcast, and I feel like we don't understand how much confidence is important. There's so many ways that you can show it, but they specifically said literally the smallest thing, like not looking at your phone when you walk in a room. And I was like, wow, like y'all getting real specific. But they said a woman who is confident, like she walk in a room, she not looking down at her phone, she's looking at everyone and is making her presence known, like her light is just shining. She walks in the room and she owns it. She doesn't walk in a room and is playing small by looking at her phone and not trying to be noticed. And I was like, I kind of like that one. And I feel like that's something that we could take into consideration, because I did read something that said someone who tends to look down at their phone, or, you know, it means that on the inside they may not be as confident to walk in a place full of people. So try it, ladies. When you walk into a restaurant, when you walk into just a place that you know is busy, or you're just walking around, period, try not to look down at your phone. Nothing wrong with listening to music, but try not to look down at your phone when you walk inside to avoid catching eye contact with people. Understand that you are beautiful. You about to walk in that room. You're going to own it. And whoever catch eye contact with you is because they like what you see. So you can look back and be like, hello, you know, hit them with a little smile and keep it pushing. I think that really does show confidence in a way that we probably didn't even recognize. Next thing is doesn't care about what anyone says or thinks. And I really like that they were specific, because I'm like, these are all things that we have reinforced on our episodes, especially in this season of Becoming That Girl. So I'm glad that they're basically just confirming everything we talked about. But doesn't care about what anyone says or thinks. Basically like a woman who's fearless. Doesn't care about other people's opinions. They're not afraid to go out on the ledge and do what it is that they want. And once they do what they want, they don't care about what anyone has to say about what it is that they're doing. That's the kind of woman that they're looking for. Easy to work with, not difficult. And so that's another one of them things we could take with a grain of salt, but we did talk about this in last week's episode too. They're basically just saying, like, be easy to work with. Like, don't be so difficult. Don't make every single thing so difficult. Just work with me. Let's be right here. And a girl who's calm. I feel like that goes hand in hand with being calm. I feel like if you're easy to work with, you're automatically going to be calm in nature. You're going to be more relaxed, more easygoing, easy to approach. So I feel like those kind of go hand in hand. But that's another turn on, they said. A woman who is calm and collected and confident. The 3 C's. What's up? Next thing they said was the way you speak to your family, which was only one of my friends that said this, but I'm just like, interesting. So I guess like the way you speak to your mom, they basically feel like if you can't respect your mom or like talk to your parents in a respectful manner, then that kind of means that later on down the line, you may not be able to respect them as your significant other. Like if you can't even respect your mom or your dad or your siblings is different. But if you can't even respect your mom and your dad, then they feel like it's kind of a red flag, because that means that you kind of don't have enough respect for yourself or just the people that you really love and care about in your life. And I know sometimes, ladies, we could get flipped with our moms sometimes, but my mom don't play that. I know personally she don't play that. So I may talk to her little ways, and if she do catch me, she'll be like, "What you just say?" The popular line is, I am not one of your little friends. I am not your little friend. I'm not your friend. I'm your mother.
Say that. Like, my mom is quick to tell me. And me and my mom have like a friendly type relationship. So sometimes I might cross the boundary a little bit. She's like, hold on. Like, just because we cool don't mean I'm your friend. I'm like, girl. Right. And then she's like,
Yep. We not friends. And then the last thing they said is like your reactions to things, which I kind of felt was a little specific as well. But when they elaborated on more what they were trying to say, they just were saying like how you react to a lot of situations. So how you react to the things that happen in your life. Like, is the world falling apart and you in bed for a few days with tissue all over the place and you can't even get yourself up, and like, you know what I'm saying? When things get hard, you just really, really fall hard. Or when things get hard, do you know how to pick yourself back up? So I don't know. I really like their turn-ons and turn-offs. The turn-ons I kind of agreed with, but I do feel like they were very specific. And ladies, take it with a grain of salt, but also listen to what these guys are saying, because I feel like that's where men and women will be able to better understand each other, is if we just listen to each other and can come to a better understanding. So I feel like we could overall agree with the turn-ons. What do y'all think? I feel like yes.
That's normal. I feel like the same way with a man. I feel like good hygiene, confidence, easy to work with, not difficult. And also how a man speaks to his family too, because how a man talks to his mother says a lot in the book. That could be in or out, strike in or strike out. So that says a lot. So I feel like it's the same way for both opposite sex. I feel like personally.
I think just hitting up on the confidence thing, that's definitely something I've heard from my brothers. And what they've also told me is like when a guy compliments you, don't think it's cute to be like, "Oh, like stop." Like accept that compliment, you know? Like if he's like you look really pretty today, don't be like, "Oh, I look terrible." Be like, "No, thank you." Like accept the compliment cuz that's the way he feels, you know? Yes, there's some guys that might be trying to woo you and just like swoon you, you know, and like say whatever that they think you might like, but like accept compliments from guys, from friends, from random strangers. Confidence is something that really will take you very, very, very far. So that was one of the turn ons that like one of the many that stood out to me because I'm like, yeah, like that is one thing that guys do pick up on is a confident girl because when you're not confident, you get insecure in your relationship and feeling like somebody could take your spot and da da da. There's so many things. Like confidence really does encompass a confident that girl woman, you know?
All right. Okay. Okay, Kieran, I see what you mean. You know, confidence, because we want that, especially we want that in our partner. But however, since these turn on and turn offs, I'm going to bring it down. So, what is your type of ideal man? Since apparently these turn ons and turn offs are the type of girls they don't want to stay away from, and these are the type of girls they want to be with. So, I feel like everybody wants the perfect ideal man. We want that perfect love story, and the right man will come to us with all the attributes. But however, women either want that rich man, but some want that 9 to 5 hard-working man as well. However, the trend to be with a rich man, I feel like it's like every girl wants it. Like now, the regular dude, the regular 9 to 5 is not it. It's canceled. I feel like now everybody wants the 6 figure, 8 figure. That's my type. That's my. Ain't nothing wrong with a man with some money, but I feel like we overlook the men that have a good salary, but it's not 6 figures. You know, everybody has their own path. So I feel like it's looked down upon, but they can also have the attributes that you want. But since he don't have the pockets, or I guess the high value pockets, you know, Kieran's going to get into the all high value men. But, you know, I feel like we look away from that, but we still see the money. That's the new trend that I'm seeing, you know, viewing from social media. So my question, you know, get a little personal, you know, shake the room. What is the type of ideal man that you guys would want for your future?
Mm, I think that the man that I wanted 6 months ago is different than the man that I want now. I think 6 months ago, I was like, yeah, give me the athlete, give me the, not really rapper, give me the athlete, give me, give me that. I want to be a wag. I want that life. And don't get me wrong, if I do meet a nice God fearing athlete that could dress and treats me right, hold on. But I think I've brought in my taste a little more. Like I wouldn't be mad at a nice corporate man, a nice 9 to 5 man. I've had this conversation with a lot of people, and I'm gonna get into this later. But like, I feel like the person you are is who you attract. So I already see myself as like a 6 figure woman type. Like I want to have that one day. I'm on the road to obtaining that one day. So I also want my partner to be the same and emulate the same. So if I want to be a 6 figure woman, I would probably want to be with a 6 figure man type, like, yes, he doesn't have to make exactly 6 figures, but somebody successful, somebody goal oriented, somebody that is God fearing. That's like my top. Somebody that wants a family, somebody that could dress too. But if you can't dress, we could figure that out. We could work. That's not like a complete deal breaker because, I haven't known how to dress my whole life. You got to be taught how to dress sometimes. And what else? Just respectful. Somebody that likes to have fun. I feel like some people are just so stuck in like routine and don't like to shake it up a bit. Like have fun and just live life. So yeah, 6 months ago I was athlete only, and now I'm athlete with a little bit other people, you know? It
I'm
sounds terrible.
crying.
It sounds wait. It sounds terrible,
It's
but
all
it's
about
not. It's not.
it's all about elevation. It's all about
Period.
elevation, and it's all about new perspectives and growing up and getting to that place and be like, and this ain't what this is not it. This is not it. This is not it at all. So, I can agree with that though wholeheartedly. Like maybe not with specifically the athlete thing, because I feel like I don't know what the chokehold has been with me and athletes for like the past 6 years, but I just can't seem to get away from them. So I feel like let me watch what I say. So basically, basically, I can agree with Kiaran in terms of just 6 months ago, or even just this year. Like at this place now, I feel like I'm now looking more towards the attributes, like you said, Sabine. I'm looking for those attributes, those characteristics, the non-negotiables, like we always kind of talk about in this episode, in a man that I just am. That's gonna be my man. Like, and if you don't have these, then we gonna have to talk to you later. See you later. Goodbye. So God fearing is at the top of my list, of course. I'm a really goofy person, so my man has to make me laugh. Like, I want to laugh a little bit. I want our household and our environment to just be funny. Like, I like to play jokes. Like, on my mom growing up, me and my sister always used to prank my mom growing up. Like, she would come home and we would act like we were not home and like hide behind the door and pop up and scare her. Like, I like doing stuff like that. I don't know why, but I'm just a little prankster and I'm just like a really goofy, like jokey kind of person at heart. So I want my man to like be the same way. Like, I can imagine me living with my man and like we do like little jokes and pranks on each other. Like, I don't know. So he has to be goofy. Like, he has to be funny. He has to know how to make me laugh. He has to like want to crave knowledge in the same way I do. Like, if you know me personally, I can be a really deep person sometimes, but like I just love to know everything. If I don't know something, I'm gonna look it up on Google right away. Mid conversation, if you ask me something or it's like, what? I wonder what this means, or I wonder what this is, I'm gonna look it up. So I want to be with someone who's just as deep as me and craves knowledge just as much as me, to the point where they're putting me on to stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, put me on to some new knowledge, to some new wisdom. Like, put me on. I want my man to like educate me in a sense. That sounds weird, but I want my man to educate me, not just in terms of like knowledge, but like financial knowledge as well. Like, put me on to like business ventures. Like, I want you to just be really hip to the point where I know I'm taken care of. Like, I know I'm with a man that has a lot of knowledge financially and just life wise, and goal driven, like we kind of already talked about as well. I feel like if you're gonna have that knowledge, or you're gonna have that crave for knowledge in the same way I do, then you're automatically gonna be goal driven. You're already gonna like know exactly what it is that you want to do in life, and from there you're gonna be making some M's. I'm sorry, but I understand that like every woman is like that. Maybe the trend on social media, everyone wants to be with a rich guy, but I feel like there's a type of rich guys that a lot of like women be going for on social media, and I'm not necessarily like into that. Like, you don't got to be super flashy, you don't got to have the chains. Yeah, I want you to be fly and dress nice, but like I'm all for the low-key rich men. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go in the store and you don't even know how many M's he got sitting in his bank, because like he don't even have to prove his point to you, because he's so comfortable in himself that's like, I don't have to prove to you that I'm rich, because I know I'm rich and like my family is good. So that's all that matters. Like, I just want a man that thinks like that. That's how I want my man to be. So if he's gonna be God fearing and he's gonna crave knowledge in the same way that I do, and he's gonna be a goal driven, like the M's is automatically gonna follow. And kind of like Kiara mentioned, like I'm on the track of becoming that kind of woman too, where I'm gonna be pulling those strings financially and I'm gonna reach those financial goals in life. So it's like, I feel like you are what you attract in a sense. So I'm automatically gonna attract a man that's gonna be on the same type of time as me. And finances, I don't want to like talk down on it. Like, there's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5 man either. There's 9-to-5 men that is out here making 6 figures or more. You get what I'm saying? But finances does play an important role. Like, I don't like how there's this whole narrative. It's like, oh, finances don't matter. Be with someone for who they truly are. But it's like, in a sense, where you're building a foundation and you're building a family, like, money matters. Like, I'm sorry, but like finances matter. And if you have like a lifestyle that you want to live, and that you know the kind of life you want to live is a life where you have flexibility, and flexibility to buy the things that you want to buy, and live the way you want to live, and go on vacations the way you want to go on vacations, then financially you need to be with somebody that has similar pockets to you. So I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a man that has money, because why wouldn't you want to be with somebody that has money? Like, you want to be with somebody that's broke, that like literally can't support you in any way, shape, or form? Like, no, you want to be able to be with a man that has money, but don't be the female that is broke as well. Be the female that's forward thinking, be the female that's goal driven and is making money as well. And so that way y'all can come together and really build a solid foundation and an empire, essentially. So I feel like that's my man, to sum it up. A lot more, but to sum it up, that's it for the most part. And he gotta be fine. I'm sorry.
Right. I feel like I got a little brief with it. Kaylin definitely broke it down more.
She
and
went
I don't
in.
want anybody listening to think that I only like athletes. No, that's not what I was trying to say. And that's not the message that I was trying to get over. I was just saying the mindset that I had 6 months ago is so different to the mindset that I have now. I think a lot of high value men come with a lot of things. So I would like a man that essentially matches my vibe. Let me put it that way. You match my vibe. You have a lot of qualities that I look for. You hit all my non-negotiables, which is God-fearing, like I said, goal-oriented, fun, respectful, loving, all of those things. So if you happen to be an athlete, that's another thing. But no, my viewpoint has changed where it's not only athletes now. You could be a company owner, you could be a doctor, a lawyer, something that is quote unquote seen as boring. I don't know, but it's just my horizons have broadened, because I know there was gonna be someone listening like, hold up, she only like athletes, right? No, that's not.
We've been in a chokehold, but you know what I'm saying?
The chain, break every chain. Like
it's giving Wags new season. It's giving the new Wags coming out, new season. Stay tuned.
No,
another non-negotiable though is cheating, and I feel like cheating is a non-negotiable. I'm sorry, like he's gonna get more into it, but cheating is a non-negotiable that a lot of men feel is not realistic, and I'm just like, how is this not realistic? I'm sorry, but I want my high value men to not cheat.
Hey, talk about it. You said it. High value men. We don't want it to cheat. So that's what we want. That's what we required. That's the one non-negotiable. You can't bring everything to my lifestyle and you just gonna cheat. Ugh, you just damper the whole thing, I feel personally.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know.
And along the lines of cheating, me and Kaylin actually went out to this local lounge with two of our friends that were visiting from out of town. And I guess from the outside looking in, like, you can consider these men high value men. They make a lot of money. They do good things for themselves. They have businesses, different things. They're just like boss men. And essentially we were talking about, what our type is, what we see. And one of our friends just straight up was like, yeah, well, based on that, they're going to cheat on you. Sorry. And I was just dumbfounded. I was just taken aback. I was like, absolutely not. My husband will never. He will never. If he wants to live, he will never. I pray for him. I pray that God brings me a man that holds certain values, to know that cheating is just not in the book, not in the playbook. It just can't happen. It cannot happen. And I don't want to speak for Kaylin because she was there too, and she could say how she felt in that moment as well. But I think we both were just looking at each other like, did they just say that? Did they just wish that upon our marriages in the future?
Yeah, like I was dumbfounded, honestly, because I was just like, is this what we've come to? And the only reason why I wasn't too surprised was because this is not the first time I've heard this. Like, I've heard so many times, oh yeah, like high value men cheat. Like, you want a man with money, you want a man that is making all this money and is doing all of this. 9 times out of 10, he's gonna cheat. Kevin Samuels, a popular influencer, a popular brand image strategist, whatever he calls himself, or image consultant. That's what he calls himself. But you know, Kevin Samuels, he talks a lot about this as well, how he feels like high value men cheat, and it's not cheating, it's exercising their options. That's literally what he says it is. He's like, they're not cheating, they're just exercising their options. Now, he agrees that they shouldn't lie about it, but he feels like a high value man won't lie about it because they feel like that's what comes with it. Like, this, you getting all the cars, you live in this life, you live in this luxurious life, like, this man is going to exercise the many options that he's presented with for the pure fact that he's rich. So that was that. And I was just like, wow, like, is there any hope for us, ladies? Is there any hope for us?
There's hope. There's God, there's hope. Okay, and
period. Say it again.
Honestly, if there's God, there's hope. Honestly, I like to use like my sister, her husband, you know, very, I could say, consider a high value. Ooh, child, the AirPod dropped. Sorry, y'all. But I feel like for my sister, I consider her husband, you know, to be more considered a high value man, takes care, providing, you know, provides more, I could say, of a luxury lifestyle. But, you know, him being with her, you know, being in the industry, being with tons of women around, he still comes home, still be's the father to the 4 kids, and still respects my sister, you know, at the end of the day. So I could see a high value man do not have to cheat. He can make 7 figures, but still does not have to cheat. He still is with the one girl that he's been with after college, has a whole family of 4, and then still comes home. He still lives in the industry, lives the lifestyle, but he knows at the end of the day, like, the way he talks about my sister, posts about my sister, like, she's a queen, treats her like a queen. Like, so I've seen it physically. I've seen a high value man don't have to cheat. I've seen a high value man being a family man at the end of the day. So it's possible. So wherever there's God, it's possible. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. That's how I'm gonna leave it.
And in these God-fearing men that we want, there's gonna be God. So hopefully, where's God, there's hope, and we gonna hope that these men don't cheat on us. But I feel like it's about self-discipline. Like, cheating is a really self-discipline kind of thing. Like, if you don't have the self-discipline to stick to one thing and one thing only, like, yikes. You know what I mean? So I need a man that's going to be disciplined, period.
100%.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you guys. And God being at the center of any relationship, if we got our God-fearing man, we'll be good. For all the ladies out there, keep cheating a non-negotiable. Don't ever settle for, especially in a marriage, for somebody that cheats on you and you just sit because you got kids. No, like, don't ever settle. Go for that God-fearing man, because you know that he will have God at the center of every decision that he makes, and the Holy Spirit on his shoulder being like, now you know you don't need to be doing this. But we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We definitely touched a lot of good things. We're getting there, you guys. We're actually nearing towards the end of this season, but we still have some good episodes coming for you to finish it off and wrap it up. But make sure you're following us at K Squared Pod to stay up to date with all things K Squared. We're going to be posting more on social media, so be on the lookout for that, you guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode once again, and we will see you guys next Friday. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.